Despite the numerous socio-economic challenges experienced due to the COVID-19, the year 2021 has provided new opportunities for businesses. 2021 witnessed various digital initiatives and growth in the financial services industry. At the moment, more than 4.52 billion people worldwide have received a COVID-19 vaccine, equal to about 58.9% of the world population. Amidst the issues, the Islamic finance industry continues to attract new players and evolve its products and services to bring in more active participants in the world. Good morning, welcome to the Islamic Finance Weekly, where we capture the activities in the non-interest finance market. It is a special edition and the last for the year 2021. Before we begin, let us take a short break.
Islamic finance has been misunderstood by many to be a religious product aimed at only Muslims. But that is not the case. Since the 2008 global financial crisis, Islamic finance has become an attractive segment of the financial market, promoting sustainable development and economic empowerment. Join me every Friday on the Islamic Finance Weekly at 11 a.m. West African time as we discuss Connect the Globe on Islamic finance and its benefits. It features experts, scholars, analysts, policymakers, and regulators who provide insight on the capital market, banking, personal finance, Islamic insurance, financial literacy, waqf, halal, and all other aspects of finance and the economy. You don't want to miss it.
Welcome back. It was a busy year for the Islamic Finance Weekly, from webinars to event coverages and weekly interviews. Today we will look at the top 10 most viewed Islamic Finance Weekly videos for the year 2021. We start with number 10, which is a video on women in business and ethical finance, an interview with Dr. Shukwu Bello, senior lecturer at Dangote Business School and Subdean Faculty of Management Sciences, Bayero University, Kano. Let's discuss ethics as an important business consideration. How well have women-run enterprises fared in driving an ethics-based business model?
One thing we have to realize that women, they really cares a lot. They cares about their family, the environment, and the society. In that case, most businesses, or many of these women-owned businesses, are into practices that are beneficial to the society. They are doing this to help the society. I've seen so many of them. It's not only in Islamic finance, we have them in other areas of ethical industry. We have the food industry, we have the fashion industry, and so many of them, women are really participating, because without women, we cannot move the world forward.
The 9th most viewed Islamic Finance Weekly videos featured Sayar, founder of Halal Commerce, who speaks on why it is important for women to participate in halal trade.
Yes, it is lot of initiative and lot of concern as well why women trade in matter. Obviously, women matters in the trade, and trade matter to the women. So vice versa, like we have women's especially in trade, to access the trade sustainability in terms of how they earn their incomes from the trade, accessibility to the new market, and in a way is development, personal development for their well-being.
Islamic Finance, Agri-Development and Trade Connectivity with Diana Sabrin, Chief Executive Officer, co-founder of One Agris, made the number 8 most viewed video on the chart. Good afternoon, Ms. Diana, and thanks for joining us from Singapore. It's a pleasure having you on the program today.
Good afternoon, Bukola. Thank you for having me here. It is really a pleasure.
One Agris, as a trading platform, recently announced its Nigeria Feeds the World initiative. Please tell us more about this and the objectives for Nigeria.
Yes, so the Nigeria Feeds the World initiative runs in the bylines of the Horasis Africa Summit. And what we see here is One Agris as the official technology and trade platform, with the Nigeria Fits the World initiative. So what we are seeing here is with the recent AFCFTA, which commenced on January 1st, is the opportunity for Nigeria to go global.
For the number 7 most viewed Islamic Finance Weekly video, it was a discourse on the dynamic of wills, trust and opportunities from an Islamic perspective, an interview with Abimbola Ajinibi, Vice President FVN Quest Trustees.
Traditionally, people don't want to talk about will because they tend to associate debt and all that with will. But however, it's what we have to discuss.
Exactly.
Now, we need to look at what is will. Will is it's described as a document that details how one's property and assets should be shared and distributed upon death. And now talking about Islamic will, it's not very different from the conventional will, save for the fact that it has to comply with the Sharia rules and principles. So that's how will is described in Islamic space. Now, the major difference we have between the conventional will and Islamic will is the fact that Islamic will is divided into two. You have a portion that is predetermined and the other portion that you have a freedom as a testator to decide what you want to do with it.
The 6th most viewed video in 2021 was an exclusive interview with Ifeoluwa Dixon, the Senior Vice President and Head, Fixed Income Portfolio FVN Quest Asset Management Limited. She explored how Nigeria can leverage Islamic finance to improve investment inflows.
In a way, you've done justice with the introduction about what has happened in global economies due to the COVID-19 pandemic. And so we saw shutdowns of economies across the world. And that in a way led to global economic activities. And we saw most governments also introducing various policies and the massive stimulus programs. And if you then translate that to what Islamic finance can actually do, is that to help the government as well, and also to stabilize economy like nations like Nigeria. 3 things come to my mind. One is to channel finance, which is funds, to real sector. And the real sector, I mean, is infrastructure that counts for growth, economic growth in the nation. You know, when the economy grows, then what happens? You see stability. And when I say channeling funds, then it has to do with investors and the investing public as well. A good example will be event Quest Asset Management, where your funds allow funds are deployed to real sector, health sector, education, could be transportation. You know, you're looking for real sector that can bring about growth in the economy. Another way as well is increasing financial sector participation. And by that, you're deepening the financial landscape by attracting new category of clients and introducing new set of products to the market.
Number 5 on the chart focused on the role of non-interest finance in closing Nigeria's financial inclusion gap with Abdul Rashid Babalola, Head Takafu Advisory at Cord Capital Limited.
The first thing that comes to mind is incentives. The CBN needs to give incentives to financial services providers to be able to come into the market or to upscale on what they are already doing. So why am I saying incentives? Several years ago, we had a very high importation of rice, but with the anchor borrower scheme, which was an incentive scheme by the CBN, we found out that the import receipts of Nigeria has reduced drastically. So if the CBN is supporting Islamic finance institutions with incentives like tax holidays, tax incentives, I believe it can drive that skill that we want, or we can have more people coming into the Islamic finance space.
The 4th most viewed video was a discourse threatening corporate governance in Nigeria's non-interest finance market, an exclusive interview with Umuhani Hamin, Managing Partner, Metropolitan Law Firm. Good morning. Thank you very much for joining us, Mrs. Umuhani.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you very much.
Welcome. So let's begin the conversation with the fact that since the 2008 financial crisis, corporate governance has been given top priority in stabilizing the global financial system. So can you share with us how this is being adopted by Islamic financial institutions?
So corporate governance in Islamic financial institutions, or non-interest financial institutions as they're referred to in Nigeria, are generally similar to their counterparts. That's the conventional corporate governance. So non-interest Islamic financial institutions are also subject to the Nigerian Code of Corporate Governance of 2018. However, non-interest financial institutions are unique in the sense that they are required to have a Sharia supervisory board. The body is a council of experts versed with the Sharia, whose core tasks are to undertake audits to ensure that the non-interest financial institutions and its financial products are Sharia compliant, and also to provide advice to the non-interest financial institutions on the distribution of income to shareholders or the disposition or investment of account holders.
3 areas Nigerian non-interest finance institutions should focus on in 2021 emerged the third most viewed video, an interview with Dr. Aliyu Dahiru, senior lecturer at the Department of Economics, Bayero University, Kano.
The year 2020 was unprecedented. It comes with so many odds never seen in the recent history of nations. There are many challenges. There were many challenges faced by different sectors, banking, politics, and virtual society. There are many challenges actually. And you specifically mentioned about the non-interest banking, their activities. Yeah, it's here that especially the COVID-19, at the very beginning of the year, the first quarter, the COVID-19 hit the market. It affects the economy, leading to closure of businesses and borders. That is a major event. It has never happened. We have never heard about situations whereby countries close their borders, airlines stop, flying, businesses close, banks, despite the seriousness, I want to put it, they close their doors to customers. This is really unprecedented, and you can imagine the effect it will have on the economy, because it will definitely stop the consumers, the producers, and all people there. They will not have access even to your money. Perhaps you may not have access, talk less of getting loans or financing for your business or even household. So it affects many sectors of the economy. Non-interest is one of them. Non-interest financial institution is not an exception. There were studies actually that have been conducted which shows that the effect of COVID-19 on businesses, on Islamic finance in particular, is comparable to conventional finance, because they are all into business. Once you close your doors, so all your projections in terms of profitability, in terms of operation, have to stop. So the same thing happened to non-interest banking. Of course, then there were many things that have happened in between that since perhaps we can't continue as such, closing all our doors. So there were some opportunities, some openings that you can now, some interventions or some online activities that have been taken place, and some partial opening which took place, and some government intervention and central of Nigeria's intervention on how to revive, how to protect the economy. So therefore, non-interest institutions have participated in that, and then it also lead to some level of activities, so to say.
The second most viewed video discussed how Sukuk issuance can be deployed to fund sectors like agric, health, education and transportation sectors that can drive economic growth and stability in Nigeria, with Dr. Mustafa Abubakar, Senior Lecturer at Department of Banking and Finance, Ahmadu Bello University.
Islamic banking, as you see it in practice now, is only a platform period. An example is that when the Prophet Muhammad arrived in Medina on immigration, he found the practice of salam being done among communities in Medina, but he repositioned it to reflect Islamic tenets. So, in a nutshell, coming back, banking has been there, but not at a formal or modern level as is being seen now. Well, in its form now, it started about 40 to 50 years back from around the Middle East, Asian countries, when Muslim economists and finance experts have realized that the workings and operations of the needs of the common man. And so there were meetings of minds among different scholars, educationists, academics, and practitioners on how we could come up with an alternative to the status quo then. And that was how some efforts were made in countries like Egypt, in countries in the Middle East, and so on, to put in place an organized banking system that reflects the Sharia requirements. And that saw the opening of different forms in many countries. But some of the experiments along the line, you have improvements, including the establishment of the Islamic Development Bank in Jeddah, and many other institutions. And that has resulted in what we are seeing now, a phenomenal growth in aspects of Islamic finance, as you rightly mentioned.
And the most viewed Islamic Finance Weekly videos for the year 2021 was the conversation on how Securities and Exchange Commission of Nigeria is developing a robust and vibrant non-interest finance market. A presentation from Abdul Kadir Habas, Head Department Securities and Investment Services, SEC, Nigeria.
We have in the master plan embedded certain key initiatives that would now help us to achieve that. And we started with even the SEC. We try to see how we can build our own internal capacity, that is the institutional capacity. And then we try to see how we can now collaborate with us, regulators, to see how we can define these sectors. And I think we can see, in a bit, how that collaboration assisted us, even in terms of issuances, even the sovereign issuance. It was because of the collaboration that we had with DMO that DMO now issued the first sovereign scope in 2017. Now, regulatory authorities to engage on a continuous basis and to see how we can be able to have a robust public awareness. And that is why I say this kind of program is really a program that we really would like to always partner with the organizers, because it is part of what we can do to really defend our own market, to see how we can create alternatives in our own market so that it will be a win-win situation, and so that we can be able to really achieve that target of being a regional hub when it comes to Islamic finance.
In all, 2021 was an eventful year for the non-interest finance market in Nigeria, as the awareness, discussions, and its consideration as a veritable source of financing infrastructure and sustainable development gained traction in the country. Despite the COVID-19 pandemic, Omicron, and global uncertainty, the non-interest finance market in Nigeria continues to witness huge prospects for growth. It is still facing the challenge of standardization, limitation of products, adoption of digital banking, and the considerable gap in Islamic finance education. This shows that there is room for improvement in 2022 and beyond. To all our viewers, partners, and featured guests, thank you for making our 2021 a remarkable one. We appreciate you all. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.